When you think about iconic Perth locations, it used to be our beaches or even Kings Park that topped the list, but now you can't lay out our best attractions without putting Elizabeth Quay right at the top of your list. With plenty of parking, a train station just next door and a free cat bus, it's pretty easy to get to, but today we're travelling in style. This is where the city meets the Swan River, so why not take advantage of that? Such a unique part of Elizabeth Quay is that you can simply pull up in the ferry or your boat. I don't have one of those, so today we've hopped on a Wild West charter.
We offer 3 tours a day at 11, 1 and 3 p.m. The 11 and 3 p.m. is a 45-minute tour which goes either side of the city, so Kings Park, Matilda Bay, Pelican Point, back to the city, then up to Optus Stadium to see Crown Casino, the Wacker, Harrison Island, and then back again. The 1 p.m. is a 90-minute tour which shows all the western suburbs. We actually travel down on the northern bank, do all the western suburbs, come back on the southern bank, go to the east of the city, and then come back again. That leaves at 1 and comes back at 2:30. So we call Wild West charters for the wildlife that we view on the river daily. Our ospreys, our black swans and our dolphins. We can't guarantee anything, but we do our best.
And you also offer a bit of a history lesson as well.
Yes, there's lots to talk about in regards to history, both Aboriginal and colonial, different aspects along the river. Generally at the end at Harrison Islands where we talk a lot about our Aboriginal and colonial history just before we come back to Elizabeth Quay.
And speaking of history, this site holds a lot of stories, which you can learn on the free cultural walking tour through the First Nations art pieces like the First Contact sculpture and the Spander, which have redefined Perth's skyline, and some of the many free events held here all year round. From fireworks to carnivals and the carousel, there is so much to do here, which means it's not only a must-see tourist stop, but somewhere locals can keep coming back to. And with every good destination comes good food with lots of options, whether you're searching for a quick lunch, a fancy dinner, or a tasty cocktail. And while we're by the water, let's treat ourselves to some oysters at the Oyster Bar. Kate, we've just hopped off the boat. We've worked up an appetite from exploring all day. Tell us, what food have you got here today?
So fresh off the boat, the chef has prepared us, everything's fresh. We've got some fresh oysters at the Oyster Bar. It's always the one thing that most people are going to go for. Fresh every day from South Australia. We've got a few other selections if you're not a fan of oysters. We've got some seafood, everything else, some chicken, some pork. So we've got a variety of everything. And
speaking of bringing in crowds, this view, to die for, world class. How good is it working with this every day?
Honestly, it's amazing. I get so distracted. Almost every week, the Elizabeth Quay seems to host something. So you're seeing so many different people, we're seeing so many different tourists. As soon as you walk in, you see their faces, like they see the view and they realise, oh wow.
Now speaking of oysters, these look very good. Before we dig in, this is the Oyster Bar. This is what you're known for, right?
Our oysters are obviously the best oysters. So we've got a lot of different flavours. If you're a fan of grilled oysters, so you're not a big fan of the overall taste of oysters, we've got a variety. I always recommend them. People that really enjoy oysters, I go for chilled oysters. You always have to try the natural, fresh every single day.
It's hard to believe that Elizabeth Quay is approaching its 10-year anniversary, and if you head down at the moment, you might notice a bit of construction. That's because the precinct is continuing to elevate its world-class title. Later this year, you'll be able to sip on a Little Creatures beer right here, further cementing Elizabeth Quay as Perth's premier waterfront location. We love exploring our great state, but something that's become recently very important to me is finding kid-friendly locations. Here at Elizabeth Quay, you've got playgrounds, you've got water parks, you've even got a merry-go-round. You can snap a selfie on the footbridge or take a ride to the top of the bell tower before stopping in at one of the family-friendly relaxed eateries. And the best part, Elizabeth Quay is so big that if you want a night off from the kids and everyone else's, there are plenty of great spots you can head to. Then why not embrace the night off with plenty of waterfront accommodation options a stone's throw away? Or end your visit on a sweet note with some of Perth's best gelato.